Hey folks, we're doing good here on the farm. I'm on about day 20 or 21 here since my incident, but I wanted to give you an update on the planting beds. They're absolutely wonderful. These are different types of radishes, a few little eating onions, the snap peas here right in front of me, and then as you can see, I got the boxes here with the regular peas and the carrots following behind it, all doing very well. It makes it really nice to be able to grow your own vegetables. And sometimes in this hard clay, we just need to, you know, um, make it a little easier for us, if you know what I mean. And the way to do that for us has been to raise those beds up. Now, the rest of the garden, it's not like that. So there's a lot of heavy clay. There's a lot of, manure been put into it to try to give it some organic matter. And it's doing actually pretty good. But I get this question a lot. People see the raised beds in the last couple videos. People see us with the tiller, the Husqvarna. They see us with the side hoe and a bunch of things. And they're like, how do you keep the weeds down in that big of a garden space? And the answer is, well, number one, work, but also using the right products and the right tools. Here, my daughter, she's just doing a fantastic job. This would typically be my job. But again, I'm still in healing. I think I'm on day 20 or 21 here. And she's got the tiller. It's, walk behind, counter rotation. It's doing a good job of just really beating up that thick, heavy clay, getting that loam to break up. And we're just, mulching under the what I would call the carpet type weeds that come up, especially here in the potatoes. By her doing this, it gives us kind of a fresh start. Um, and then the weeds will come back in. We're in an area of rain right now, state of rain. It's been raining here most of last week, and this is really our only dry spell. And there's 4 or 5 days of rain coming more. So she's in here tilling even between the onions, and you can see the dirt is coming up with moisture because the clay is holding it. This is the tomato area, excuse me. It's right next to the potatoes and the onion area, and we kind of fence it off just because of the high winds. And we've got our cages. The tomatoes are just starting to reach into the cages. This thing will just be massively solid full of tomatoes when it goes. But you can see the middle ground in it is really starting to get those carpet weeds in. We can go through and pick these by hand. We could go through and hoe them. We could even go through if we want to and spray them. But that's not how we choose to do it. What we choose to do is get in here with the tiller, break them up, grind them up, smooth them out, and then I like to kind of use a nice natural preen on it. And I know there's different types of preen, folks. I get that. There's extended control, there's regular traditional preen, and then there's natural preen. And I understand, I don't need the flack in the comments, but natural preen doesn't last as long. You're right, it lasts 4 to 6 weeks and you got to put it down again. I get that. But for what we need, we only need 4 to 6 weeks. We can only grow typically from the end of May to about the middle of September. Sometimes by the end of September, we're froze out already. So we're talking June, July, and August, and maybe another half month in between May and September. So we're talking kind of a 12-week period. Well, here we are. It's about the probably 10th of June. So we're already kind of past that first several weeks. Things are up and doing well. We need to get through the June rains here and the July heat. And then we'll be into August and it'll be picking time. And a lot of times at that point, we're not going to worry so much about weeds. So again, this is a crucial time and a crucial step, getting this down and getting it down right. With their rain coming, that's what we want. Because once you till this, grind up all the weeds underneath, and they start getting water, they're going to start trying to come back. And that's where the natural preen has really helped our backs and saved us effort and time. And that even includes fuel, because as you know, tillers don't run on vapor. So again, my daughter Anna here is just making this whole area look really nice. And that's actually eggplant in the center there. So we've got tomatoes on the outside ring, and we've got some eggplant in the center. I try to kind of put the eggplant away from the potatoes because we get potato beetles. That is a problem in northern Minnesota turf. They're just a very hardy little devil. We don't get much for Japanese beetles up here. Not saying we don't see them, we just don't get much of them. We don't get a lot of aphid type problems in our gardens up here, but we do get a ton of potato beetle problems. And they like the eggplant, they love obviously potatoes, so it makes it a little bit more difficult for us to control them. Let's just put it that way. And then as she's finishing up here, you can see it looks really nice. The ground looks good. She's beaten up the clay. And again, this clay isn't solid clay. It used to be. It was almost 100% clay loam. But now it's got so much manure and stuff in it, it helps it. But now when she's done, my other daughter is going to come in. So Anna's going to take the tiller out of here. She's tilled. Within the hour, she's tilled the tomatoes. She's tilled the onions. And she's got the tomato area done. And we're going to bring out natural preen. I know it's a little tricky to find this stuff, but we're able to. Our garden is going to need about 8 of these containers because they don't make it in the great big boxes. I wish they did, but they make extended control, extended release, and the regular preen in those great big things. But they don't seem to want to make the natural in it. This is my daughter Tabitha. She's just going to walk around and she's going to sprinkle it down fairly heavy. As you can see, she's not really putting it under the plants, so we will get weeds under the plants. I get that. But again, she's putting it down nicely, uniformly all over, and fairly heavy. And it'll do some nice preventing for us. Doesn't mean we're not going to get a few weeds, but nothing that we can't just pull out or work with the next 4 weeks. After that, the weeds are going to start creeping back in. But in 4 weeks from now, with Minnesota rains and Minnesota heat, these potatoes, they'll be touching each other in the rows, and you won't even be able to go down through them. And the weeds that come up, so be it. By the time we get 8 to 12 weeks, yes, there will be weeds through these potatoes, but the potatoes will be in the die-off process. They'll be dying back and the weeds will be coming through. And that's not a big deal. We'll just use the post to go dig them out and find them. And we get through it. And we really don't, like I said, finish any more weeding. But as you can see, she's just kind of shaking it out nice and heavy. The preen container does come with a little opening that's meant for its shaking. We've just never had good luck with it. So she just takes the cover off and goes right at it, folks. We're going to do all the potatoes, that's the reds and the purples. She'll do all the onions, and we'll do the tomatoes. Now, people ask us, well, why don't you do the beans? Why don't you do the beets? Why don't you do the carrots? Why don't you do the peas and the radishes? We don't need to. Peas and radishes will be done in just a couple weeks. Carrots get tough enough and strong enough that they really don't have any issue in the boxes. The beans, we're down the bean rows so many times once we start picking. Doesn't matter whether it's the red beans, the pinto beans, the black beans, or the green beans. We're down the rows so much that we can just manhandle the weeds if not the traffic itself keeps them in check. So we don't have much issue. We will put this in the corn, the sweet corn that is. But again, it has to get a little taller and we have to get some carpet weeds in it so we have a reason to till it. Because it was put in tilled and we really haven't gotten that first growth of weeds. Once I get that first growth of weeds, then we'll bring the tiller in, till it, and put the preen down. Folks, you don't have to do it that way if you want. You can put this down right away when you put your plants in, because it prevents, again, seed germination. So you can do that. Another product we're going to put down today to deal with is our spinosad. You can find this in different products. The garden insect spray here has it. We have to use this for the potato beetles. So once Tabitha gets done putting down the preen, she goes and sprays the potato crop. Because this time of year we really don't have much for potato beetles yet. We have a few adults and they're eating a little bit on the leaves and they're starting to lay their eggs. But when these eggs hatch, we're going to have these little red little larvae just destroy the potato crop. So we have to be on top of it. We find that this is about the right time, right when we're putting down the tilling and the preen, to get in here while these potatoes are probably only 6 to 8 inches tall and get all the leaves sprayed. And then we'll wait about a week to 10 days. There'll be a whole nother growth of leaves coming out of these potatoes. The canopy will have gone from 6 to 8 inches to probably 8 to 12 inches. And then we'll come back and spray those again, because when the adults and the larvae feed on the leaves, they take in the chemical and then it kills them, especially with these more natural products like spinosad. So we're getting this on right now. Again, we use a little handheld pump sprayer to do it, and we use a couple ounces per gallon. And as she's spraying, she's just trying to coat everything. Here you go. So there's one of these adults right here. I saw it just as I walked by. It's going to, on the underside of the leaves, it's going to lay eggs. Those will hatch, and they'll eat the potato for their nutrition, the leaves that is, and starve the plant. We won't get a crop. So this is how we're controlling the weeds, folks. We're timing it right. Once the carpet weeds start coming in, we're getting a tiller through it. We're putting down our natural preen. We're killing off any insects we need to. And then we're turning around and making sure the garden continues to grow. This is how we've been doing it. It's worked great for our couple acres. The garden is doing well, folks. I'm healing, and I'm appreciative of your thoughts and prayers as I go through it from my incident, and things are working out really well. Please keep liking and subscribing and follow along as we keep showing you great things on our homestead.